power output, the foundation of speed. Speed starts with watts. Watts are force multiplied by cadence. The more sustainable power you produce, the faster you go. But here's the mistake. Most riders chase peak power. Speed comes from sustained power. FTP, functional threshold power. That's the maximum power you can hold for about an hour. Improve that and everything changes. How? Structured training, intervals, progressive overload, consistency. You don't get faster by riding randomly. You get faster by stressing the system intentionally. More watts equals more speed, but only up to a point, because above 30 kilometers an hour, power isn't the biggest enemy. Air is. Aerodynamics, the invisible wall. At 35 kilometers an hour, over 80% of resistance is air, not weight, not rolling resistance. Air, which means reducing drag often gives more speed than increasing fitness. Small changes matter. Lower torso, bent elbows, narrow shoulders. Even dropping your head slightly can save watts. Aero helmets, tight clothing, smooth cable routing. These are not cosmetic. They're speed multipliers. Professional riders spend hours in wind tunnels because saving 5 to 10 watts at race speed can decide outcomes. If you want a free speed boost, fix your posture before buying anything. Rolling resistance. Tires matter more than you think. Your tires touch the ground. That's your connection to speed. Cheap tires waste watts. High-quality tires reduce rolling resistance dramatically. Latex or TPU tubes reduce friction. Proper tire pressure improves efficiency. Too high pressure? Harsh ride, less grip. Too low? Energy loss. Tires are one of the cheapest ways to gain speed, yet most riders ignore them.
Weight important but overrated. Weight matters, but only in specific conditions. On steep climbs, under acceleration, on flat roads, aerodynamics dominates. Many riders obsess over saving 200 grams but ignore their body weight. Dropping 2 kilograms of body fat improves climbing more than buying a lighter stem. Weight matters most when gravity matters, otherwise drag wins. Drivetrain efficiency, hidden watt loss. Every dirty chain wastes power. A poorly maintained drivetrain increases friction. Regular cleaning, proper lubrication, chain optimization, you can lose 5 to 10 watts just from poor maintenance. Professional teams obsess over drivetrain friction because marginal gains compound. Cadence and efficiency. Many beginners push heavy gears slowly. That burns legs quickly. Optimal cadence for endurance riders is often between 85 to 100 RPM. Higher cadence reduces muscular fatigue, improves efficiency, spreads workload across muscle fibers. Speed isn't just about strength, it's about sustainable rhythm. Positioning on the bike. Your bike fit determines power transfer, comfort, and aerodynamics. A poor fit wastes energy. Too low saddle? Reduced efficiency. Too high? Hip rocking. Professional riders optimize millimeters because comfort equals sustainability. Sustainability equals speed.
Drafting, the largest free speed in cycling. Drafting is not a small advantage, it's enormous. At 30 to 35 kilometers per hour, sitting directly behind another rider can reduce your aerodynamic drag by up to 30 to 40%. That means if the rider in front is pushing 300 watts, you might only need 220 to 240 watts to hold the same speed. That's the difference between surviving and getting dropped. But drafting is not just sit behind someone. Position matters. Too far back, the draft weakens. Too offset, you catch wind. Too close, you risk wheels touching. Professional riders sit inches from the wheel ahead. Why? Because air closes quickly. Small gaps cost watts. In crosswinds, drafting becomes even more strategic. Teams form echelons, diagonal lines across the road. If you're on the wrong side of the line, you're in the wind, and the gap grows instantly. Drafting isn't optional. It's a speed multiplier. Pacing. Most riders destroy their own speed. Speed is not about effort spikes. It's about sustainable output. Let's say your threshold power is 280 watts. If you attack at 350 watts for 60 seconds, you create oxygen debt. That debt must be repaid. Your body accumulates lactate. Breathing spikes, heart rate climbs. Then you slow down. Average speed drops. Smooth riders are faster, even if they look less dramatic. Negative splits win time trials.
Controlled climbs beat emotional surges. Professional time trialists ride almost perfectly steady power curves. Why? Because physiology punishes chaos. Nutrition. Speed is carbohydrate dependent. You cannot produce high power without glycogen. Glycogen is stored carbohydrate inside muscle. Once depleted, power drops sharply. Most amateurs underfuel. They ride 2 hours, drink water, maybe one small bar. Meanwhile, professionals consume 60 to 90 grams of carbs per hour. That equals 2 to 3 energy gels per hour, or drink mix plus solids. Why so much? Because high-intensity cycling burns carbohydrates rapidly. If you bonk, you don't just slow slightly, you collapse. Speed depends on fuel availability. Recovery, the hidden accelerator. You don't get faster during rides, you get faster between them. Training damages muscle fibers, depletes glycogen, stresses nervous system. Recovery rebuilds stronger. Sleep 7 to 9 hours, protein intake around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram body weight, proper hydration. Chronic fatigue reduces power output. Many riders plateau because they never fully recover. More training isn't always faster. Better recovery is. Climbing efficiency, power to weight ratio. Climbing speed depends on watts per kilogram. If you produce 300 watts at 75 kilograms, that's 4.0 watts per kilogram. If you drop 3 kilograms without losing power, now you're at 4.3 watts per kilogram. On steep climbs, that difference is massive. But extreme dieting reduces power. Muscle loss equals reduced watts. The goal is lean efficiency, not starvation. Climbing rewards discipline. Descending, the most ignored speed gain. Many riders lose minutes descending because they brake too much. Good descending technique: brake before the corner, release during the turn, look through the exit. Relaxed grip, wheat slightly back, inside knee angled. Descending confidence saves time without extra power. Professional riders often gain more time downhill than uphill because fear slows amateurs. Body position on climbs. Seated climbing is usually more efficient. Standing spikes heart rate, but standing strategically helps change muscle activation, relieve fatigue, accelerate briefly. Good climbers switch positions smoothly. Bad climbers thrash the bike. Wasted upper body movement costs energy. Efficiency wins. Equipment selection strategy. Speed changes based on terrain. Flat race, aero wheels. Mountain race, lightweight wheels. Windy day, shallower rims for control. Even tire width changes speed. Modern research shows slightly wider tires, 28 millimeters, can roll faster than older narrow tires due to lower rolling resistance at correct pressure. Speed is equipment context dependent. Psychological endurance. Pain tolerance affects performance. Your brain limits output before muscles fail. Training discomfort improves tolerance. Fast riders stay calm under stress, control breathing, ignore minor pain signals. Mental discipline keeps power stable late in rides. That's where speed differences become visible. Consistency, the ultimate multiplier. One intense week won't change speed. 12 consistent weeks will. Aerobic-based development. More capillaries, more mitochondria, better fat oxidation. Endurance builds gradually. Fast riders are consistent, not random. Final escalation. Getting faster is not about one magic upgrade. It's about removing inefficiencies, reduce drag, increase sustainable watts, fuel properly, recover fully, draft intelligently, descend confidently, pace strategically. Speed is engineered, layer by layer, and when you combine mechanical efficiency with tactical intelligence, you stop chasing speed, you control it.